We're out here at Bent Rock Vineyard off of Santa Rosa Road in the Santa Rita Hills. We're standing right in front of our Pinot Noir block. This is clone 115 Pinot Noir out here at Bent Rock. And behind me, we've got a really cool view of kind of the Santa Rosa corridor. So these are the Santa Rosa Hills to my left here, and they defined the Santa Rosa corridor along which a lot of the great vineyards in Santa Rita Hills are planted. And for SAMsARA, we're really concentrated in this specific southwest part of the AVA with Bent Rock Vineyard here, Radian Vineyard to our west, and then to our immediate east, we have Rancho La Viña Vineyard and La Encantada Vineyard, the two vineyards just east of here. So this is a really special place, and Bent Rock is actually a great example that kind of demonstrates how we select our vineyard partners. Choosing the right vineyards and the right sites to work with is probably the most critical thing in making great world-class wine. And we've really concentrated our vineyard partners in this specific area of Santa Rita Hills, the southwest corner, and that's really strategic. For us, we're looking for a handful of different things when we're, assessing a vineyard and determining whether or not it's going to be a great site to make great wine out of. Location, proximity to the ocean, soil complexity, and really that microclimate that we find ourselves in here, although maybe not today because it's a little warmer today. But this is really the coldest part of the Santa Rita Hills. And the reason that that's so important in making great wine is, the magic of Santa Barbara beyond the ocean proximity and the soil complexity is really hang time. Even though we're further south in California, we're a cooler grape growing region than almost all other parts of California. And the hang time is really the special sauce or the magic that makes our area really unique and special. Because it's so cool, our grapes ripen at a slower rate, giving us a really long growing season. And that's really pretty special for a winemaker to work with fruit that gets really long hang time, allowing the flavors to build into these complex flavors with a lot of depth without excessive sugar levels. So we've really chosen to kind of double down on the vineyards that are coldest and coolest and closest to the ocean in Santa Rita Hills. Currently we're in the middle of this extreme Labor Day heat wave. One of the added benefits to working with these cooler sites is that just by virtue of their location, these cool sites help mitigate some of that heat wave risk, both because the heat's not as extreme as you get closer to the ocean, but also because Pinot Noir and fruit grown in this far western area typically ripens later. So instead of the Pinot Noir being right at the finish line when the heat wave strikes and the heat potentially compromising your optimal levels of ripeness, instead, the fruit out here is a little bit further behind in the ripening process. And so when we get that Labor Day heat wave, there's a little bit of buffer capacity that allows us to ride through that without compromising any of the fruit or the fruit quality. All right, so you can see this tiny little cluster in my hand, and it brings to mind another really important consideration when selecting our vineyard partners. One of the benefits with working with these really extreme cool climate vineyards on the far west end of Santa Rita Hills is because of the wind conditions, the cold weather, the fog, that all impacts the final crop level or the yield. And it's more common than not to find really tiny clusters. This one's about the size of my finger, with really small berries out here. And that really concentrated fruit produces wines with great depth of flavor, just really good flavor concentration, and helps us make really special wines.